Have you ever had the fantasy of living in Africa for a few weeks in a tent in the bush, maybe taking pictures of wildlife every day? National Geographic Explorers and Residence Dereck and Beverly Joubert have been doing that, but not for a few weeks. They've been living this life for the past 27 years.
In Botswana's Okavango Delta, the Joubert's Land Cruiser is their second home. The only way to ensure getting the best possible pictures to make award-winning films is to follow the animals day and night. For weeks, months, even years on end.
That's a beautiful setting with fantastic light, and he's quite tense, and so he has that intensity in his eyes. That's always nice to capture and nice to work with.
So their vehicle is often their bedroom and kitchen, as well as their filming platform.
Breakfast with the lionesses, yeah. You can see they're hungry this morning. They really are.
So there's good news and there's bad news. Bad news is we're completely surrounded by buffalo. There's buffalo there and everywhere around us. That's also the good news.
Being in the middle of the action is what sets their work apart. Dereck shoots the video. Beverly records the sound and takes the still pictures. Their images give the rest of us a perspective we couldn't get on a tourist safari.
I think that what we do, what's so exciting about what we do, is it is a blend of art and science. And natural history filmmaking is that combination.
The Jouberts have made documentaries in several parts of Botswana, but here in Duba Plains, they may have found their best setting ever for combining science and art. The secret ingredient, water, and big cats that aren't afraid to get in it. Of course, if the animals go in the water, that means the wildlife filmmakers have to follow, no matter how deep it gets.
Must be a shortcut across.
Here's a little tip on how to save time when you're getting ready for work in the mornings. It is possible to commute to the office, wash your car, and take a bath all at the same time. Of course, it does have its downside. The water you're using is filled with hippo dung and crocodiles.
Early morning crossings were quite interesting because we'd get up and drive straight through the river. The water would be up to my waist, and so I wouldn't really bother getting dressed until on the other side. So Beverly had it easy. She would sit up on the top of the roof and yell instructions at me. Like, don't get so wet.
You can see the water's coming in all the way into our doors.
For us, this is a process. I don't think it's just about going out and capturing film, getting footage. It's about living the life. It's about walking out to the garage and seeing a lion go by, and hearing the buffalo come through camp.
And sometimes it means having baboons use your kitchen roof as a trampoline. Because for the Jouberts, living the life also means living in tents. And that can make even the simplest chores a little harder.
This is my little hand mixer.
Cooking and washing dishes, the unglamorous but necessary side of filmmaking when there are no restaurants for a couple of 100 miles.
The game ranger's work is never done. We need to engulf ourselves in this subject, and we only do that by living out here and doing all those things and living under the stars and getting dirty and getting stuck.
You literally have to be a jack of all trades living in the bush. There's no emergency road service number to dial for help when you're stuck up to your lug nuts.
We've done this a serious amount of times.
Getting stuck is not only inconvenient, it can also make you a sitting target.
What put the dent in the side of the car? Elephant.
Oh, that was an elephant.
We've been knocked by elephants now about 4 or 5 times. But generally it's not the big stuff that gets you, it's the little things. You know. Malaria, snakes, scorpions, those are always problematic.
One.
Or a little thing like an unexpected jack handle to the face.
Should be alright, but we may have to do... Oh! I have to do another one.
A slightly bruised jaw is the extent of the damage on this day.
That was a lucky one. There have been times where we've been stuck from 7 hours to 26 hours, right in the middle of a river. So this one in comparison was easy. It was 7 minutes.
In many ways, in an obtuse way, the harder it is, the better it is for us, because that puts us on the edge and allows us to understand it a bit better. Africa's never been easy. Africa's a very indifferent place. It doesn't care whether you live or die.
Without the death of some, there would be no life for others. This is the natural order of predator and prey, a story played out again and again each day on the African plains. But the Jouberts are also concerned about a new storyline that's upsetting the natural balance. Lions disappearing because of human encroachment and hunting.
It's hard to believe that there are 20,000 lions, not in this area, not in Africa, but only 20,000 left in the world. And so a consistent thread through all of our work is to push that home and to say to people, these are magnificent, iconic animals of Africa. And there are only 20,000 of them, and they're spiraling. We're losing between 3 and 5% a year.
And so it's really piecing together all the interactions, all the highlights, to bring the viewer closer to Africa and hopefully bring the viewer closer to the emotions and the reasons why it is necessary to save big cats. And by saving big cats, we're also saving part of the wilderness areas in Africa.
If via our films we can just focus a little spotlight on lions and big cats in general, and just bring home the fact that without them this would be a much poorer place, a much less wondrous world. I think that's what we hope to achieve. And we have a lot of fun.